All right, everyone, welcome back for another episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Thursday, February 24th, 2022. The title says it all. One for the ages here, an absolute mega reversal here on the equity markets. Spiders printing at 427 right now. The Nasdaq is now the leader, and we'll explain that a little bit here, but take a look at the triple Qs here, up 3%. If we look at the Nasdaq futures, down almost 4% in the overnight, now up 3% here. So a 7% swing essentially in about 12 hours. Truly remarkable here. Take a look at some of these stocks here. Just the daily candlesticks are amazing. Look at this move on Amazon. Basically filling that gap from earnings. Facebook now back above 200, an engulfing reversal there. Another engulfing reversal here on Netflix. Tesla, 100-point swing today, down as low as the 700 handle, now touching that 800 handle or just shy of it. Pretty amazing stuff. Look at Apple here. Hitting that 200 moving average, now green. Microsoft, same thing here. Look at that humongous engulfing candle. Google, up under 4% here. Amazing moves. IGV, I told you guys yesterday in the video that it was into a good weekly support here. Look at the size of that candle on the IGV there. Some of these cloud stocks just been so beaten down. Oracle, Adobe, up 8% here. That's a humongous move for Adobe, 8%. Look at that candle there. So it's a lot of these things, we're just way oversold. We talked about, the PayPals of the world. Up 4%. And once, I said, once these things finally find a bottom, they're going to find a huge bottom and they're going to be up 5, 10, 12% in a day. Look at Affirm here. Roku up 15%, Zoom up 7%, Zillow, Teladoc. There's Teladoc. So 12% for Teladoc. So these beaten down stocks, basically what's happening right now is the market swallowed the tough pill. We had the invasion going on, and that was kind of, hanging over the market's head for the last week or so. And now that we've swallowed the pill, the market's kind of gotten that out of the way. And, the onus is now on the Fed. We know that they're not going to hike rates now. They can't. Now, the flip side of that is there is going to be a lot of commodity inflation. That's obviously something that the market's got to think about here. But in the meantime, we've gotten the worst news kind of out of the way. And now the market can kind of digest things. The market hates uncertainty. And now we have at least a little bit of certainty here. But what an epic move here overall. And, there will be probably some headwinds. The market's not out of the woods. I was just saying there's going to be problems. There's going to be inflation and so on. And the market's got to think about the Fed's, in a pickle right now. But for the meantime, market is getting a bid, and it is an epic move here. Look at the Russell 2000. We noted that the Russell never really took out double bottom. Overnight, I posted this chart here. It got through double bottom, but that was really it. Just a little bit of a pierce there. The problem with the Russell here is once this pivot breaks, there's nothing really to support it for quite some time, because we just had that epic rally in 2020 with pretty much no pullback. So if this ever loses that area, it's going to be lights out for the Russell. But Russell right now lives to fight another day. The Dow has been the weakest one, but you have banks right now, and we'll talk about banks in a minute. Banks and energy are kind of the weaker sectors right now. And you've got JP Morgan and Goldman kind of making up a big portion of the Dow. So Dow getting the least bounce here. Let's look at the VIX. That's a mega reversal on the VIX there. So no doubt this market has put in some sort of a bottom here. In the meantime, the daily candle, the monthly candle. Let's take a look at the ES monthly. I brought this up last night. You got very close to this trend line here, this upper trend line, and you have that 20-month moving average. So that looks to be defended right now. Also, if we take a look at the NQ, that is now back above its 20-month moving average. And there's 2 more days left in the month, so that will be a key level to watch here, although I do think it holds, at least for now, with the size of this reversal here. And look at the volume there. Just epic trading volume today. And, I was saying that over the last couple of weeks, we had declining volume on the sell-off, which is not usual. Typically, when you have sell-off, a major sell-off, it's on heavy volume and the buying volume is light. We're kind of seeing the inverse of that, so there is some accumulation down here. Anyways, Let's look at a few sectors here, but first I want to talk about the Russian stock market. So this RSX ETF, this thing was pummeled down 45% at one point today. Humongous bounce off the lows here. Take a look at Gazprom. What's it? OGZPY, I think. Yeah, look at the move off the lows here. Getting down to almost $4, now above 5.25 here. Incredible move. Still down 15%, but just amazing moves today. Anyways, let's look over here. Let's take a look at the semiconductors. Now up over 3%. Humongous double bottom being defended there. Again, look at the weekly chart support. This is why you got to trust the charts. You know, I say this all the time, but look at the support here. I mean, this is tons of chop. That's not going to go after 3 weeks of consolidation. I'm sorry, it's just going to take more than that. And, you know, you look at the charts will tell you what's going on. And, you know, if you're listening to the news, you're going to be spinning around in circles. I mean, there's so much misinformation now, and, you know, there's an agenda behind all the news. Can't be paying attention to that. Can't pay attention to fear and panic and emotion. And you just got to look at the levels, and more times than not, it's going to serve you. But semi is getting a nice bounce. We talked about IGV. That was into really good weekly chart support. Pull it back here one more time. So that was into a really good weekly level. I said right around the 310, 315 area, and that's where we put in a bottom there. So IGV getting a nice bid here. Dow Transports, told you that was going to go down to that 14 to 14.2 area. That's where we tested, and a nice pop. Nice reversal there for Dow Transports. Home Builders, what was the level I gave out yesterday? 64 handle. That's where it was defended. Again, just going off of the chart here. Got a lot of support in that 64 handle. 100-week moving average. You're going to get a bounce off of that especially when you're as oversold as it was going into that. VNQ also defending that 98 handle. So it did get through that 100 handle, but it is going to close above that, obviously, with a nice reversal there. Let's take a look at the 10-year. So 10-year kind of all over the map here, but did reclaim that 20 moving average. You know, bonds did bid pretty hard this morning. There's a lot of fear out there, but they did come back in. So yields getting a bit of a bid off the lows here. And take a look at the 30-year. That is some extreme bond market volatility there. Especially for the 30-year treasury. But the big story right now is HYG. So we talked about high yield yesterday. I said it needs to hold this low pivot, needs to hold that 82 handle. It has done that. So again, this is also a huge positive for the market here in the near term, the fact that HYG is holding up. So let's look at FINs. All right, so XLF here. So obviously coming off the lows like everything else, but you know, you did hold this double bottom, but financials definitely not the beneficiary today. Still in the red. Take a look at JP Morgan. So that was down over 5% at one point. It is down only 3% here, but it's holding the double bottom. It probably gets up to that gap fill area, maybe even a little bit higher, maybe into the 150s here, but definitely not a good look for financials. Morgan Stanley also weak. Losing these pivots here. Again, it probably rallies back up to this moving average necktie of all these moving averages here, but financials on the weaker side. Goldman, one of the stronger names here right now, holding this double bottom. But for now, financials are sort of the weak link, which is kind of a reversal from what's really been going on lately. But again, tech was oversold, so tech is going to get the bounce here. All right, so let's talk about energy. So XLE, coming nicely off the lows, but this is still looking kind of top heavy here. So, I mean, you got these two big engulfing reversals right in a row, essentially, with heavy volume. Looks like energy is going to get some type of a correction here. XOP still managed to hold green, and OIH still holding that 20 moving average. So, you know, I would say I'm more neutral-ish right now on energy. Again, it's got good fundamentals, but they're starting to show signs of volatility coming in at the top here. Speaking of energy, take a look at crude, getting all the way up to the 100 handle. And I've been saying for a while, it probably wants to go up there and test that. We got up there on WTI today, and look at that tail candle there. So energy coming back in, and it's you know, it's telling me that there's a little bit less fear out there. Again, it looks like this is kind of a bit of an interim blow-off move. You know, we got the worst news out, and so the market's going to freak out and panic. And then, you know, it's going to, once that settles down, everybody's going to kind of, you know, get their head about them and sort of look at things more logically here. But crude did have a humongous pop, and now coming back in off the highs. Nat gas also getting a pop, but still inside of this this bar here. So this could be setting up for a move higher, but for the meantime, it is kind of just hanging in here. And it did find some resistance around that 5 handle, but nothing too crazy going on there in that guess. Anyway, spiders close in here. So above 427, humongous squeeze into the close. Man, just an epic move here. All right, so dollar index. We actually sold our UUP calls. We had UUP calls for quite some time here, and they turned out to be a really nice play. We got out of them for 88% here on the move up. Reason why I wanted to do that is with volatility coming in so sharply, the implied volatility is going to hurt those long option trades. And I wanted to close that trade out a little bit early. I still think it has a chance to get up to that 99 handle. But either way, big move there for the dollar index. And again, coming off the highs again, there was a lot of fear this morning, and a lot of that has subsided. That's why you're seeing crude come down. You're seeing the dollar come down. Also, we're seeing gold come down a little bit here. Just look at this epic candle here on gold. Got all the way up to 1976. So really, almost, it got within a stone's throw of 2000 here, just in one session, and then coming all the way back down here to that 1900 handle. So it is holding that key monthly area that I've been talking about for now. We'll see what happens tomorrow and Tuesday, but it was a pretty epic reversal here on gold. Look at this candle here on the GLD. And you can see it inside of my screen right here. Look at that move there on the GLD, just epic volatility. Silver here, same kind of deal, got as high as 25.50, a little bit above that. Now closing red, back below that 200. Just amazing volatility here in the market across the board. Platinum coming back in sharply after getting above 1125. Palladium, same thing. So again, we got the news that we were waiting for, which is an invasion, and it's like you get that panic pop, and then it's kind of like over with, right? It's like when a stock gets beat down for months and months and months, then they release a crappy earnings report, then the stock rallies. That's kind of the thing we're seeing here. So maybe a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of event potentially here. Anyways, copper still holding this red inside bar for now, so that is still kind of a bearish pattern near term, but it's holding up, and we'll give it the benefit of the doubt for now. Ultimately, I still think it probably wants to break down and test that 425 area. So Ether and Bitcoin, really nice move off the lows. Ether got all the way through that 2400 handle. Bitcoin getting as low as 34,000. I do think there's an established zone of demand here, and I'll show you on the weekly, at least for now. We talked about this, the dual inside bars yesterday. So you have this red inside bar, and you're all inside of that. But you also have this micro green inside bar here, which you held the low of today. But it looks to me like there is some demand around 35,000 for Bitcoin. For Ether, it's around 24. So in the near term, again, you could still get a pop up here on crypto. And obviously, that's going to be a bullish indicator for the equity markets if you're getting risk on assets moving higher. But unless they close above these inside bar highs, you could still make a case that there's a bearish pattern setting up to move lower. So if they stay range bound, that's telling you they're putting in a bear base. But if they can get above this high here and close above that on a weekly basis, then I would say I would have to turn bullish there on crypto. But until that happens, we're just going to kind of, take it one step at a time here. Anyways, let's flip over here, wrap it up. Spiders, look at that candle again, up 1.5%, just a mega squeeze. And, this is why I stress the importance of not chasing. Don't have FOMO. People are asking me like, oh, should we buy short? Should we put puts on? You can't do it here. The time to do it was up here, or even on this bounce if you wanted to take a stab at it, but you can't chase it at the lows here. And by the way, look at the call chain here, the option chain. It's 270,000 bags at 410 today. 121,000 bags at 420, 176,000 at 415. That's why you don't want to chase these lows here. So anyways, major move. We'll see if we get follow through tomorrow. Maybe we'll have a bit of a pause day after a big move like that. Typically you can get kind of an inside day or a pause day, but we should get some type of a follow through next week. This is definitely, you just look at the volume here and here, there's definitely demand in this zone. So we should get some type of relief rally going in the next couple of days, probably led by tech. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe, comment, etc. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com, 2-week free trial. Get in on the action. We're crushing it this year, absolutely crushing it. But anyways, you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.